OK， 大家好，你们好，很高兴见到你。Welcome to my class. This is Wang 老师. Today we continue to learn Chinese pinyin and some simple polite expressions. In the process of learning pinyin, we will also learn some new words. If you are interested, you can write down their meaning. Okay, now let's start. Today we first review the content of the first lesson, check how you learn, and then we learn new pinyin and new words dialogue. Let's review first. Do you remember what we learned in lesson 1? Pinyin consists of 3 parts: initials, 声母, finals, 韵母, and tongues, 声调. There are 4 tongues in Chinese. They are A, the first tongue, A, the second tongue, A, the third tongue, A, the fourth tongue. Okay, this is the 韵母 we learned in the last class. Please follow the recording and read it.
Yunmu 1
Finals 1 一 乌 ü 儿 啊 呀 哇 o 窝 耶 约 I Y A V 凹 腰
Okay, very good. And these are 声母 we studied in the last lesson. Please follow the recording and read it.
声母 1
Initials 1 波 坡 摸 佛 的 特 呢 了 个 科 呵 鸡 七 西
Okay, please note that these initials have the difference between aspirated and non-aspirated. Please listen. 波 坡 的 特 个 科 鸡 七 Okay. Last time I left an assignment for everyone. Please read these syllables. Let me check now. I will read a syllable. Please select the syllable you hear. You can enter 1, 2, 3, 4 or pinyin in the chat box. For example, the line A, I will read 铝 铝 铝. So in this case, you can choose 3. Yes, like this. Okay, line B. 多 多 多. Very good. It's number 1. Okay, next one. 画 画 画. Very good. It's number 4. Next. Oh, I'm sorry. 条条 Yes, it's number 3. Okay, next one. 教 Well done. It's number 2. Okay, do you remember these new words? Okay, let's read it first. After me. 你 It means you, singular. 你们 It means you, plural. Name It also means you, but it's a polite way. 好 It means good, fine. 对不起 It means sorry. Sometimes we can also use 对不起 to express excuse me. 没关系 It means that's okay, doesn't matter. Okay, there is no pinyin now, so can you? Let's have a try. The first one. 你 你们 您 好 对不起没关系 Okay, Chinese characters are a very important part of learning Chinese. Although learning Chinese characters is challenging, I believe you can do it. Now I split the Chinese characters from lesson 1 into 3 parts. Can you recognize what Chinese characters are? For example, like this one. What's this? Yes, it should be 你 Okay, let's look at the second one. 这是什么 What's this? Yes, it's 好 Next. 这是什么 Well done. It's 您 And this one? What's this? 这是什么 Good. 们 is used after the personal pronoun to indicate the plural. 们 This one. Okay, and this one? 对不 What's this? 对不起 Good. 对不起 And the last one. 没 A, B, C, which one is right? Yes, C is right. 没关系 Okay, well, lesson 1 is finished. You all learned very well. Now we will enter the content of lesson 2. First, we will learn the pinyin. Let's learn 7 声母first. Listen to me. You can have a try after me. 知 吃 吃 诗 日 滋 Okay. Some of you may find that This 声母 zh, ch, sh, they have two letters. Here, the letter H here is not pronounced, but represents they are retroflex sound. So when we make these three sounds, it requires the rolling up of the tongue. Let's look at this. Zh, ch, sh. They are pronounced by rolling up the tip of the tongue close to the hard palate. Zh should force the air out through the narrow channel between the tongue and the hard palate. Zh, zh. And this one, ch, ch. Ch is similar to zh, except it is an aspirated sound. So you must produce this sound with more breath. Ch, ch. And this one, sh, sh. The sound is produced by rolling up the tip of the tongue very close to the hard palate without totally blocking the air and letting the air squeeze out through the channel. Sh, sh. Okay, this one may be a bit difficult for you. Let's learn together. The sound is produced by rolling up the tip of tongue toward the front end of hard palate. Then let the tongue tip touch the hard palate lightly. Finally, let the air squeeze out between the tongue tip and the hard palate. You can put your hand here. When we pronounce it, here, vibrating the vocal cords. Okay, we can try to read in the syllable. For example, like the first one. 热 it means hot. 热 Second one. 入 it means enter. 入 弱 it means weak. Okay, here, unlike zh, ch, sh, when reading z, c, s, you don't need to raise your tongue. For example, like z, it is produced by initially pressing the tip of the tongue against the back of the upper teeth. Then quickly moving the tongue tip backward to leave a channel and let the air squeeze out. Z, z, z. And this one, c, c. The manner of articulation is very similar to z. The only difference is that c is an aspirated, unvoiced sound. The sound is very similar to the last sound of students. C, c. Okay, let's look at this one. S, s. When producing this sound, let the tip of the tongue touch the back of the lower teeth. At the same time, let the air squeeze out between the surface of the tongue and the upper teeth. It is the same as the first sound of students. S, s. Okay, this is the 声母 we studied today. Have you learned it? Please read after me. 知 知 吃 吃 诗 诗 日 日 滋 滋 呲 呲 丝 丝 Okay, well done. Now let's try it together. I will read a syllable. Please select the syllable you hear. For example, like the first one, I will read 沙 沙 沙. You can type B in the chat box. Yes, B. 沙. Okay, number 2. 这 这 Yes, it should be A. 这 Next one. 晒 晒 晒 Good. It should be C. Number 4. 桌子桌子桌子 Yes, it should be B. Okay, the last one. 热河热河热河 Very good. It's C. Okay, well done. Now let's learn the finals. 韵母韵母 We are going to learn 18 finals. With the basics of learning single finals before, these 18 finals are definitely not a problem for you. First, please listen. You can try to read after me. O, O, yo, yo, an, yan, yan, wan, yuan, yuan, yin, wen, ring, on, yang, wang, yin, weng, ong, yong. Good. Let's look at this group of finals. O, an, yin, on, yin, on. The first sound is louder than the second one. Under this group, yo, yan, wan, yuan, wen, yang, wang, yong, weng. The middle sound is the loudest one. I think some of you must have discovered that The 韵母 we studied today contains the sound This is a front nasal. When producing this sound, the tip of the tongue presses against the back of the upper teeth to block the L string completely and let the L out from the nose. For example, like an, yin, and this one. This is a back nasal. When producing this sound, raise the root of the tongue. Here, it's the root of the tongue, and press it against the soft palate tightly to block the L string completely. Let the L out from the nasal cavity. For example, Okay. We learned an abbreviation in lesson 1, which is we. In written, we should write U and E, is omitted. I think you also found out that there are 2 abbreviations in today's pinyin. The first one is yo. We should write E and U. O is omitted. When here, is omitted. Okay, let's read some new words. When reading, you can pay attention to the abbreviations in the syllables. Listen to me. 睡觉 sleep 睡觉 牛奶 milk 牛奶 足球 football 足球 讨论 to discuss 讨论 Okay, now let's learn some new words together with what we have learned today. If you are interested, you can remember this meaning. If you have already knew the meaning, you can type in the chat box. First one, how to say it in Chinese, do you know? It's a clock, so 钟 And this one, what is? 这是什么? Do you know? Yes, 船 boat 船 And this one is for sleeping. So 床 good 床 And this one, what's this? Egg, right? So 鸡蛋 Oh, you already know the characters. And this one, 他是 he is a, how to say? Yes, driver, right? 司机 他是司机 Okay, and I think all of you know this panda, how to say that in Chinese. Yes, very good. 熊猫 Okay, you can read after me. 床 I'm sorry. 钟 船 床 鸡蛋 司机 熊猫 Okay, We have learned 4 tongues in lesson 1, right? And now, apart from 4 tongues mentioned previously, there is another tongue in Chinese, which is short and light, known as the neutral tongue. Neutral tongue. Like the first one, we should read mama, mama. See, the second syllable is short and light. We cannot read mama. It's wrong. We should read mama, mama. It means mother. The second one, 爸爸, 爸爸, 爸爸. It means father, dad. The last one, 奶奶, 奶奶, grandmother, 奶奶. Okay. When we write pinyin, we must learn how to mark the tongue correctly. Tongue marking. Tongue marks should put above vowels. When there are 2 or more vowels in the final of a syllable, the tongue should be marked on the one that is pronounced with the mouth more wide open. For example, like this one, mo and ma. There is only one 韵母, only one final, so the tongue should be put above like ma, ma. And this one, he and o. In the final, o is read more wide open, right? So the tongue mark should be marked above o, like ho. And this one, 小, xi and yao, 小 in yao, is read more wide open, right? So the tongue mark should be put above 小. But u, yo is an exception to this rule, in which the tongue mark is put on u rather than e, as yo is the abbreviation of yo. O is omitted. Okay, now let's do a practice. I will read a syllable. Please tell me which tongue it is. Which final should be marked? You can send the finals directly to the chat box using 1, 2, 3, 4 to represent 4 tongues. For example, like the first one, 班. The tongue mark should be put on and it's the first tongue, right? So you can type like this. Okay, let's start the second one. 神. Which tongue it is? 神. It should be the second tongue. And this one, 斗. Yes, very good. It's a third tongue. This one, 藏. Well done. It's a fourth tongue. 藏. And this one, 床. Yes, it's a second tongue. Okay, the last one, 桶. Very good. It's a third tongue. Okay. Well, this is the pinyin we learned today. 7 initials and 18 finals, neutral tongue and tongue marking. Everyone, congratulations. You have successfully completed all pinyin. How about it? With the help of pinyin, we can read all Chinese characters. If you have been to China or plan to come to China, you will find that it is hardly to see pinyin on the street, because pinyin is just a tool for learning Chinese and reading Chinese characters, which is difficult to see in daily life in China. Therefore, everyone should get used to reading Chinese characters and not rely too much on pinyin. Okay, now let's start to learn the new words and dialogues. Let's look at this picture. When you need help from someone else and he did you a favor, you should say 谢谢,谢谢. After 谢谢, we can use some personal pronouns such as 你,谢谢你,谢谢你. And we can also use 您,谢谢您,谢谢您 to show your respect. And if there are more than 2 people, we can use 谢谢你们,谢谢你们. They all mean thank you, thank you. Let's look at this picture. The man was injured in sports. The woman helped him. What should a man say at this time? He should say 谢谢,谢谢. And how should the woman respond to him? The woman should say, how to say? 不谢,不谢, or 不客气,不客气. Here, 不, it means no, not. Maybe you have found that the tone of 不 is different. Yes, when 不 is alone or before the first, second, and third tones, we should read the fourth tone. 不, 不. And before the fourth tone, we read the second tone. 不, 不谢, 不客气. This content we will learn it in lesson 3. Okay, now let's listen to the recording and read the dialogue.
谢谢.
不谢.
Okay, once again.
谢谢.
不谢.
Let's look at the second one. Please read after the recording.
谢谢你. 不客气.
Okay, once again.
谢谢你. 不客气.
Very good. So, what do we say in Chinese when we say goodbye to others? In this case, what should we say? Let's listen to the recording.
再见.
再见.
Yes, you already know that. We should
再
use
见.
再见.
再见,再见,再见. Yes, it means goodbye. Okay, this is the new words we learned today. Please read after me. 谢谢,谢谢. 不,不. 不客气,不客气. 再见,再见. Do you remember, we can use some personal pronoun after 谢谢, right? For example, like 谢谢你,谢谢你,谢谢你们,谢谢你们,谢谢您,谢谢您. 不客气,不客气 means you are welcome. 不谢, it also means you are welcome. Okay, now I will cover the pinyin. Can you read them without pinyin? Let's have a try. The first one, 谢谢,谢谢. The second one, 不 Number 3， 不客气 不客气。The last one， 再见再见。Very good. Now let's do a practice. Let's look at this picture and choose the right sentence according to the picture. For example, the first one, she got a gift from her friend. So in this case, she should use which one? A, B, C. Which one is right? Very good. In this case, we should say 谢谢你谢谢你 And this one, this girl, she says goodbye to someone else. So in this case, she should use, yes, well done, 再见再见 And look at this one. Her friend did something wrong, so she wants to apologize. So in this case, she should use which one? Yes, C is right. 对不起对不起 Okay, please read after me. 谢谢你谢谢你再见再见对不起对不起 Do you remember when someone say 谢谢你 to you, how to respond? 谢谢你 how to answer it? We should say 不谢 Yes, very good. And we have another word. Yes, good. 不客气 Very good. We can also use 不用谢不用谢 also means you are welcome. You are welcome. Okay, excellent. You've learned very good today. This is the main content of our course today. Next time, in addition to reviewing what we learned today, we will also start to learn Chinese grammar. Are you ready? The next grammar is very basic for Chinese learning. They are 是、什么 and 吗. These 3 grammars, we will learn them in next week. Okay, that's all. 谢谢你们，谢谢. Now, do you have any questions about today's content? You can ask me in the chat box. 谢谢你们。Thank you. Do you have some questions about pinyin or the new words today? You can ask me here. Today's 汉字谢谢 maybe it's a little bit difficult to write. You can practice it after class. For 您 usually we don't use 您们 we just say 你们 您 we only use singular 您 only one person. Usually we don't say 您们不客气。汉字 is very important to Chinese learning. Maybe at first you think without pinyin we can also read, but when you learn more Chinese, you will find Hanzi is really difficult because there are so many Hanzi share the same pinyin. So after class, please practice how to write Chinese characters. Yes, you found 不 and 不客气. They are the same. They are the same, but they have different tones because when we read in a sentence, you can find 不客气 we read it more comfortable, right? If we read 不客气, it's a little bit strange. The tone will be changed in speaking. "不客气" Do you have more questions about today's class and some other questions about Chinese? You can ask me here. Okay, you don't have class? Do not have any other questions? Ma here is a neutral tone. Ma is a neutral tone, light and short.再见，再见。Okay, please review what we learned today and review all the pinyin we learned. Some characters you should try to practice them. Okay, see you next time. 下次见，下次见。See you next week. 再见。